This is the brand new RYOBI miniature drill press. Not really. Let's find out what it is. This is the RYOBI RHS01 and it's the RYOBI Hobby Station. And that's a great name for this. It does look like a drill press. It acts kind of like a drill press, but it's used in tandem with RYOBI's Rotary Tool or with a Rotary Tool. Which Rotary Tool? Well, there's actually several that it does work with. Let's dive in, take a look at these features. We'll unbox this thing, put it together. Pretty simple installation. But anyway, we'll put it all together. Then we'll use it on some different tools and different products. Then we'll come back and talk about what we think of it, as well as pricing and warranty. Well, this is the new RYOBI RHS01, or what they're calling the RYOBI Hobby Station. I would call it a mini drill press or a cute drill press or something of that fact anyway. So let's, I don't normally do unboxings, but I thought, why not? This seems pretty simple. We'll see what comes in here. Looks like the base, the cardboard. Looks like it's going to be pretty simple to set up. So let's figure this out. That's cool. Okay, so that looks like a reversible table. Perforated, so I'm assuming it said it's vacuum capable. Oh yeah, so you can put a vacuum port in there. Well, there's your vacuum port. So that's cool. So vacuum capable table. It looks like you could probably flip this over. Yep. So that's where you can clamp things to. Rulers right here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Little dual purpose. Okay, looks like some bit holders. I wonder if they sit, yeah, okay. So they sit on a shelf in there as well. So you pull them out, have your bits on there, put them back in there, close them up. That's cool, I like that. And they have a storage area. All right, so that looks like the top there. Assuming this comes off. By the way, I did not see any instructions. Oh, okay then. Interesting. So I pull this out. It's a hex key here. The set bolt right here. So it'll loosen that because it sticks through right through this hole right here. And then there's also a little protrusion that sticks up. And that's what keeps that thing that just stuck out the bottom there that falls out. Obviously we don't want that to stick out the bottom. So now we can stick that in there like that. Assuming, yeah, clamp that, yep, okay. So now that's seated all the way down, it feels like. And now let's tighten that up. Okay. Okay, so here is that two-stage pole that the actual press or the hobby station kind of rides on. And we can loosen up this clamp and move it up and down if we want to. Kind of like any old drill press, if you will, in a sense. So this is that two-stage pole, and you see there's a pole inside of a pole. And basically, if you turn it, there's kind of a neutral position, and you can move this up and down. Then you twist it to lock it in, and that holds it in place. I'm going to move that all the way down, and then what we have is we have this little adapter right here, and it shoves down in there. And then you can use that kind of as a handle to move that up and down. But also what happens is this little hook will reside right there. And I'm assuming what that is for is like a cable holder. So if you're using a corded or a cord holder, so if you're using a corded rotary tool, which by the way, that's what this is for rotary tools, then you could run that cord over here and it stays out of your way. Now also on here, as I mentioned, is the dust port. So here's the dust extraction port that comes with it. So you push it in here and then you can plug in your vacuum if you have the right size, or use an adapter fitting, whatever. And then this is pretty cool here. A couple of thumb screws and a couple of nuts on the back, and you just slide it in these grooves whichever way you want. And so now you've got an adaptable fence You know, we can move that however we need to, and then I'm assuming there's something back there that's kind of capturing those nuts. And now we can have a fence to ride up against, whether we put it there or on this side, or however we want to set that up. So pretty cool. We've kind of got a workable table here and a fence that we can clamp onto there. Now up here on the head, we have a depth adjustment, and we'll show you here in a moment when we hook up a rotary tool. But you can see here at that point, we're about a 2-inch travel. So if we lock that in there, pull this all the way down, we're getting 2 inches of travel. Or we could move that down and limit that travel to, say, 1 inch. So now you're setting your depth of cut or your depth of drilling or grinding or whatever you're doing. Right here, you see basically kind of our bevel adjustment, and we get up to 90 degrees rotation to one side. So if I loosen this thumb screw here, I can't go any further this way, but I can turn it, and it indexes, looks like every 15 degrees. So we have it at 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. So if I wanted to, you know, mount my rotary that way and maybe have a sanding drum on it or something, and I could be, you know, sanding or polishing, whatever it is I need to be doing. Put it back on 0, lock it down, and now I've got a drill press motion again. Now we've got the RYOBI 12-volt rotary tool kit, and this comes with like a 35-piece accessory kit, so it's pretty cool. And we're going to see if obviously it should work on their hobby station or drill press, but this is a cordless version. They also have a corded version, and it's cool because this one comes with an accessory kit, so nice to have some different accessories. So let's try this one out first, and then we'll try a Dremel and see if that works. But you can see how this attaches, which is pretty cool. Right here, you see that kind of threaded capture nut right there that rotates on the drill press head. And I'm assuming, I'm reading no instructions here, but this probably comes off. Then I must have to, so if I'm going to need the wrench now. Push my arbor lock. 10 millimeter takes that off. By the way, to change bits, you don't need a wrench. You can just use that knurling right there. But I'm actually having to take that off so I can remove this, because I am assuming this goes right on there like that. Yep. But let's first see if, oh yeah. So let's first put our collet back on. And now the collet will slide through there. And then we can tighten that up. And so now that is on there. All right, so we've got the rotary tool in there, and now we can move that up and down. But let's go ahead and move this up. So let's put a drill bit in here. Push our arbor lock and tighten that down. That's in good. And speed 4, let's go to 3. Turn it on. Yeah, that worked fine. There's definitely some movement in here when you press on it, so you know, you have to be cognizant of that, but it definitely drills the hole. And I don't know how you would know whether you're straight up and down or not, whether you're completely plumb. I guess you could put some type of bubble level on the face of this, but then you would have to assume that it's in parallel with the bit, so there's no real way to get dead on as to knowing that you're perpendicular. So you know, if that's of need for you, then I don't know that this is the station. But otherwise, let's play around with some other things. So let's take out this bit. I'm going to put on this little wire wheel. And then let's index this 90 degrees. There we go. And now we got a nasty piece of aluminum diamond plate, and we'll just clean it up with that. Put on the polish pad real quick. So I'm definitely not a jeweler. Don't have that polished out. Of course, I probably should have sanded a little better. But anyway, so you can polish with it. You can drum sand with it, just depending on what accessories you have with it. So not a bad idea for the indexing portion of it. But let's now try to see if we can get a different unit on this. So I'm going to take this off. And now let's see if a standard Dremel take that off. And let's see here. Yep, so standard thread, it threads on. Now I can use a Dremel as well, so I don't have to use the RYOBI. I will say I couldn't put it this part back because this little hump right here looks like for like an ergonomic grip. Kind of gets in the way of the press or the drill press or the hobby station. So turning it to the side, but I can still access my controls right here and turn it on. So that's pretty cool. The only difference is on the Dremel, I need this little nut thing right here to actually take the bits in and out, because that's the wrench. Or you could just use a wrench. But anyway, that's what. Oh, that's kind of trouble-esque. I guess I could turn it just a touch, but that's the arbor lock right there to hold that, so that I can then use this wrench. But again, not the end of the world, but it will work with your Dremel. Now one more thing. And I was curious because RYOBI has two cable-driven rotary tools. So like a professional style Dremel, this one's more of the hobbyist / professional style. It will not work in here. I was hoping that maybe we could hang it up and hang it on our hook here, but that is not going to catch. The thread on this is much smaller than the one in this hole. And then I checked their really nice one with the aluminum body here. It will not work either. So there's no threads here to capture that. But I was hoping that maybe these will work on there. They will not. This is a really nice rotary tool, by the way. As good as any rotary tool we have used. So I love the cable drive. You get a lot more of a professional feel when you're using one of these. So your handheld, your Dremel, your RYOBI 12 volt, even I believe the 3.5 or 4 volt, whatever it is, cordless will work on it as well. And then even your corded models, as long as you have that thread design there, it's going to thread into this and lock in. And finally, I was really curious because this reminded me of something that's a few years old, and that is this, the M12 rotary tool. So will it work? Well, let's find out. Well, would you look at that? So there we have it. The M12 rotary tool works absolutely fine in there. And it's not hitting anywhere on the backside like the Dremel does, so that would work absolutely fine. As we mentioned in the video, it's really cool how you install these. Very simple process on capturing that front thread that's common on Dremel tools or Dremel tools, RYOBI Dremel tools or RYOBI rotary tools, as well as even their plug-in models. However, it does not work with their cable-driven rotary tools. Wish it did, but it does not. So their kind of plastic-handled rotary tool nor their aluminum-handled rotary tool, cable-driven, will work with this. But all of or most of their other rotary tools, all that we know of, it will work with. Even the older M12 that I think we've had that probably 4 or 5 years will mock up into this or thread into this very quickly. So we love that aspect of it. But as we mentioned, just a little bit too much flex in here to really be anything professional. Be great for a hobbyist, great for somebody that's playing around with crafts and things like that. But if you're getting real detailed and very specific, just too much flexion in here, deflection in here for it to be able to handle any of that. But a really cool idea, and looks like you could use it on a ton of different things. And we love all the all the hidden areas where you can put your bits and things like that. And even I'm sure the vacuum attachment here will come in very handy. 99 bucks from Home Depot. You can find it at homedepot.com. Also, you can find it at your local Home Depot. And it's the RHS01, so be sure to check it out. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, then give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.